A very good morning to you. You're welcome to the Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. My name is Rome Paulson.
And I am Nyamgul Agaji. Welcome to the 18th day of March 2024. It's
2025.
2025. I want to grow younger, you know.
And first, happy birthday to you. It was your 51st birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
So I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Well, we thank God for small mercies. As you get older, you become more appreciative of the little moments that you have. This is a day that I was not even remembering before now. People will call me and say happy birthday, and I'm like, okay, it's
my birthday.
But now, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Will God give me the opportunity to see another one? So every time like that, you know, we thank God for the
happy birthday to you. What did you do yesterday?
Well, I worked mostly, slept some. That's all. You can't turn up anywhere at this time. This economy is, well, let me not say much before.
And it's a Monday, but of course you can still celebrate, but with the prices of things outside, better to be indoors. But anyways, happy birthday to you. We wish you all the best from Plus TV. We love you. We appreciate all the work that you put in, the efforts, and we're grateful to have you in our corner. So happy birthday. We wish you many, many, many more years with so many money in your bank account.
Thank you.
We pray that all of your heart desires would come through, and God will always just show up for you in the time of need.
Amen.
So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Yamgul. Everyone tell Yamgul happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, on today's breakfast, we'll be looking at several hot topics. We'll also be taking global stories that made it to the front pages of our national dailies, as well as some top trending stories. But first, let's see our quote of the day. Technology is society made durable, and that's according to Bruno Latour. He is a French philosopher, anthropologist, and sociologist, and he says this morning, technology is society made durable. At first glance, I was like, what does this even mean? I don't know what it means, but I had to read up on it, and apparently it just means that, technology is not separate from society. Instead, it helps, is a product and a way to maintain power dynamics and social order. So basically shaping the society, the non-human actors, not just us as people, but technology also helps in shaping the society. So
I should have modified that quote to say technology should make society durable, because I don't know if the durability they're talking about there is what we're really having because of technology. I think right now technology more or less divides us instead of uniting us. And a community is durable if there is communion, actual communion between people. So we should be cautious how we use technology. Technology should be used to make us come together more. But the good thing is, okay, in some aspects, on the flip side, which is the good one, is that it has brought relationships a little bit closer in one aspect and divided or separated on the other. Because I remember the time we were writing letters in Nigeria.
You have to go to NIPOST.
And it will never get delivered, especially if you put in maybe some money inside the letter. That letter will never see the light of day. And it used to happen. You write a letter, sometimes it will get to the destination, but six months later. So if you're writing on an emergency issue and you're sending to your fiance who is somewhere a little bit far from you and the letter never gets there, so see, he doesn't care and all that. But now you can
remember when you have to get stamps, and I remember those times.
So now you just
but now you can send messages,
even make a video call and all that. So these are things that technology will help us do. Technology is what brought cars to us, brought planes to us, that can make us travel from place to place, see our loved ones, and do whatever we need to do. We should keep it that way. It should be something to enhance our livelihood and our community bond.
I think it's basically just looking into the positive, because let's be honest, atomic bombs are part of
It's
technology.
yeah.
So it depends on how you want to look at it or what you want to do with technology. But it's important that we always focus on the positives, things that would help our society, things that would impact our society. And do not say, oh, because I have a mobile phone now, I can send a message and I don't have to, physically be present with my family or my loved ones. Like you hear of fathers who are working somewhere else, their family is in another state or in another country, and they're like, oh, don't worry, I don't have to show up for your PTA meeting because I will just make a call. So it's important that you understand the power of the human presence and the bond that you can, foster in that moment. So technology is great, but let's just use it to our own advantage and not use it to take over our lives.
For instance, someone loses a father. Technology will help you get the news fast that he has lost a father, but the next step is to be there present. Not to say, okay, we can make a video call and send me your account number and then I transfer money to you.
People even get married like that.
Yes.
Via technology.
Well, I hope they have babies via technology.
All right, let's move over to our top trending stories. And this first one says, Obasanjo slams labor leaders over 70,000 naira minimum wage. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, has slammed or criticized the newly approved 70,000 naira minimum wage, stating that it is insufficient to meet workers' basic needs. He accused labor leaders of betraying workers by prioritizing personal gains over their collective welfare. According to Obasanjo, the minimum wage does not even cover transportation costs for some workers, let alone food, housing, and family upkeep. In his newly released book, Nigeria Past and Future, Obasanjo expressed concerns over the declining effectiveness of union leaders, blaming their political ambitions for their inability to secure better conditions for workers. He noted that many labor leaders have strayed from the ideals of the movement founding fathers, leaving workers vulnerable to exploitation. Obasanjo further alleged that since 2015, union leaders have engaged in backdoor negotiations where they receive large sums of money to remain silent. He warned that the situation is worsening, with leaders prioritizing personal enrichment over genuine advocacy for workers' rights.
Well, Obasanjo must know. I don't know why he said from 2015. I think labor leaders have always... before this time, they were more aggressive in the fact that they saw through their demands and all that. But now it was as if once they call you into the closed door meeting, you come out with a closed bag and then money changes.
I remember when Oshomole was the NLC leader then, and when you just hear that we're going on strike, I can promise you that we're definitely going on strike. Like, it was, when you say they were really aggressive, that was true. And most times, something would definitely come out of all of that. But it seems right now, I wouldn't say maybe they're just doing it for their own personal benefit, which that is there as well. But I feel there's some level of being lackadaisical. Like yes, we know that things are, maybe the government, they're pitying the government. But it's this same government that has all the money and they're spending money. So
I wouldn't say that Oshiomhole's time was without money changing hands. Yeah,
what I'm saying is they were definitely aggressive.
Yeah,
they will see it through.
But there's a way you can, even if you're stealing, there's a way you can steal. And people will be like, okay, well, you stole, but you still delivered.
But please do not steal.
Yes. that's not what we mean. So everything they're complaining about may have happened at that time, but the level at which the compromise now has reached is too much. So, but he's talking about 70,000 naira, not taking people home, not even
transportation costs.
Transportation is not enough. You have not even talked about rents. You've not talked about electricity bill if you're on band A or you have an alphabet attached to your band. Some of us don't, and all that. You have not talked about food in the market. Now they're talking about inflation going down. I don't know in which market the inflation is going down at all. So, but labor leaders should know that they are even far greater than the elected representatives, because they are the ones that help to hold these people accountable. And if they don't do that, then we cannot blame the elected leaders, because if you do things and you know that nobody can check you, then you cannot deliver. So the role that labor leaders are playing should be taken more seriously, and the people should be considered when they're doing what they're doing. From 600,000 to 70,000, it doesn't make sense. It's not even up to 100,000.
It's not up to a bag of rice. And honestly, I mean, I was speaking with Nikagule yesterday, and he gave an instance of his daughter who lives in the UK, and she's a primary school teacher. Now, she spends about £1.70 on the bus to work, and £1.70 back. So let's just say she spends about £3 something, and she earns about £3,000, right? So if you look at the ratio, right, maybe in a month you're only spending, let's say, £100 or more, and then you're earning £3,000. But in Nigeria, you're spending more than 50% of your salary on just transportation, basic transportation. So how does the ratio work? Like, how do we even arrive at 70,000 naira, knowing fully well that the cost of transportation is super expensive right now, knowing fully well that electricity tariff, I beg your pardon, has gone up, knowing fully well that the price of data as well has gone up, knowing fully well that inflation, especially food inflation, is ridiculous right now in the market. So there's so many indices to all of this that needs to be considered. So when I hear 70,000 naira, sometimes I wonder how people are living. There was a little meme I saw, and it was like, buying new clothes right now is like you are living above your means. Yeah.
It's true.
Because you cannot, the basic necessities, putting clothes on your back, you cannot afford that anymore, because you're thinking of all the bills that you have to pay. And first things first, you have to move. So transportation has taken a huge chunk. Before you buy food, then what is left?
You know why I was laughing? It seems like a Japa evangelism you're doing, because if you compare Nigeria and other places, people will say, okay, I better travel through the desert and through Libya and all that. If I die, I die. You know, but that's not the case. And worst thing is that these people who sweep the roads in Lagos and get killed sometimes because they're doing their work. They wake up early in the morning and sometimes late in the night. They're doing their job.
They're being paid.
They earn 40,000. And someone is telling me that, well, the government is within its rights to pay what they're paying, because those are contract staff. And this contract staff, the people who hired them, you know, they might collect 70,000 for them, maybe, and then they pay 40,000. If you have a maid in your house, the minimum wage is supposed to cover that maid. If you have anybody, maybe a sweeper on the road, it should cover that. So
that is what a minimum wage is.
This company should charge so much so that everybody who is working under them should earn at least the 70,000 naira minimum wage. There's no excuse whatsoever. Whether you're subletting, whether you're doing anything, that person should earn 70,000 naira minimum wage. So you should go back and do the negotiation.
And it can't even be the government that is flouting the law. Like, if a wage award has already been established, then that's what it is. There's no excuse whatsoever.
Well, okay, we'll just take the final top trending issue. Lagos APC welcomes Jandor back, expects more defections. All Progressives Congress APC in Lagos State has welcomed back Dr. Abdulaziz Adediran, popularly known as Jandor, along with his loyalists, following his resignation from People's Democratic Party, PDP, on March 3. Jandor, the PDP's 2023 governorship candidate, cited lack of discipline and betrayal within the party as the reason for leaving. Okay, so Jandor has returned to it's not like he looked for a new party. He returned to the All Progressives Congress where he came from. And it seems Lagos has no opposition in the PDP. PDP doesn't stand as opposition in Lagos State. I think as it stands now, the only opposition that gave Lagos government a run for their money was Labour Party. Because they came close. At least they've won in the presidential. We didn't see that for PDP. And all through the years, we've seen people who seem to be just standing at the as a stopgap to make sure that nobody else comes on. We had Jimmy Agbaje at that time. Everybody was accusing him that he was an APC loyalist or a Tinubu loyalist who will just make sure nobody else takes the ticket. And right after election, he will leave. Close to election, he will return
come back again
every time, and you know they would now be started calling him customer dada.
But you know that was the same thing in Delta State, Ogboru as well. was just like that. It comes when it's time for election. I think it's a thing, right? I think they do this where they come when it's around the time for election. If they do not win, obviously, maybe allegedly they grease their palms or something. There is an understanding between them. Then they go on exile and come back again. And seeing Jandor move to APC, I'm just wondering, like, why do we keep doing this thing? Like,
there's no PDP in Lagos.
So where do you stand?
There's no PDP in Lagos, if you ask me.
I feel like if you are a political figure, you definitely have your own value system. And you look for a party that aligns with that value system. Now, you can't tell me that you move from this to this, back to this again. So, in a way, I wonder where you stand.
No, why did you leave that
in the first place? And why do you return back again? There's so many questions I have. But, okay.
Well, I think, like I said, there is no opposition party, aside from Labour Party, that at least made an impact. Over the years, we've seen that PDP just makes noise because, first of all, they could make the noise they were making before now because PDP was at the center. Now they are not at the center, it's getting worse because there is no reason why, even if Jandor had a good excuse that the people were working against him, why would the PDP be working against him for the APC? And they're calling themselves the opposition. So they should just let us know that there's no opposition as far as PDP is concerned.
APC owns Lagos at the moment, so till another political party rises up, or if PDP wakes up, or Labour Party decides that, you know what, we want to be really, really strong. For now, it seems...
there will be a coalition of parties that think that they can be
a strong force, yeah. But for now, it just seems like APC is the one, having the fun in Lagos.
I'm just kind of disappointed, but that's not me to say. I don't know what he faced that I don't see, but I just see a person moving from one political bloc to the other all the time as someone who is not serious.
Yeah, because that's why I said I have a lot of questions. It makes me question your character. It makes me question your loyalty. It makes me question if you have integrity, because I don't know where you stand. So most times when I see actions, it's not just about you saying, oh, I'm this or I'm that. It's the actions that you take that makes me understand, like, okay, who are you as a person? And if you're just going to leave one political party to another, then that tells me a lot about who you are as a person and what your value system might be. So right now, I can't say for sure who Jandor is.
I even prefer what Nasir El-Rufai did. He didn't go to a mainstream political party.
Yeah, exactly.
He just saw, okay, a small party, but I think they have the ideologies that maybe
aligns with mine. Exactly.
So no matter the ambition he might have, it doesn't show for now that what he has gone there to do is to get a presidential ticket or something and win an election. It just shows that I want to leave a toxic environment and all that. I'm not saying I still support it, but it's better than, moving from one place, going somewhere, seeing that your ambition is not met, you return. And, he's made a statement that he wants to go to a political party that supports their own, no matter who is on the ballot. So whether you're bad, whether you're good, so long as you are on the ballot of that political party, they will support you. And that statement was loaded for me, but that's matter for another.
There's a lot to unpack from there, but we'll leave it right now. All right, we'll go on a short break, look at the weather. When we return, we'll be reviewing the papers, so please stay with us.